Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Adams Estate 1909. Join me on this journey of home ownership of a 115-year-old home in Michigan. So this video here is related to my other previous video that I posted where I took you on a tour of the radiators in my old home. And one of the things that I mentioned was the fact that a few of them needed a little attention. So that's where this video comes in. I just want to take you guys along the journey in case you want to do some painting of your own radiators in your home. This is actually going to be paint in place. The most proper way to do it is, of course, to disassemble them, have a professional come, pick them up, take them, sandblast them, powder coat them, and have a plumber reassemble it into the system, which is very expensive. And for those of you who can afford to do that, congratulations, I'm happy for you. But for those of us that don't and just want to give our radiators a little pop, yeah, you can paint them in place. So here we go. Right now, you're kind of midway through the process. If you watch the Radiator video, you can see what they looked like before, but this one was all chip paint and everything like that. This right here, I did do tests, and they did come back as positive for lead, which, many of these old radiators in the homes do have that. So, of course, the safety precautions, I wasn't doing anything related to sanding them that would be creating dust. I know people think that OLED paint, you just don't eat the chips and stuff like that, but it's actually the dust can be dangerous too. I do not have children or pets, so for the most part, I just kind of started out with, you still see my bucket there, just some pine sol and hot water, just kind of wipe them down. It's this one here as well as the other one here, which is also coated now in primer. So I just basically kind of wipe them down, ensuring not to create too much, no dust or anything like that. A few little minor chips fell off, but again, I can clean that up. It's not the end of the world or anything like that. So once I did that, I let them dry. And then for the most part, I just got some standard primer that can be used on metal, wood. So whatever primer you want to use. Radiators, while they do get hot, these are hot water radiators. They don't get up to 600 degrees or anything crazy like that. So, I didn't have to get any special high heat type primer. I just got kind of regular primer that can go on metal or whatever like that, and you can save the money. I do have the paint that is going to cover these is rated for higher temperatures. So, but the primer itself is just your regular primer. So I kind of got them all covered here and coated, and I'll kind of give you a walk around. You're not looking for it to be perfect. I mean, you essentially, you just want to kind of get in the grooves here and stuff like that. And I used a combination of like your roller there and just a paintbrush. Fun fact, Dollar Tree sells those rollers and brushes right there, and it's $1.25, so you can't beat it, especially for a job like this where you're just painting a radiator versus trying to paint a wall or something like that. So Dollar Tree, they have all types of paint supplies. So I used that, and it came out really well. You definitely got to pack your patience because this is not something quick and fast. I did, put the painter's tape there. It's not to get no paint there. I still got a little something there, but that can easily be wiped up. So, but for the most part, it's just, take your time and get through each of your sections. that roller right there, which is actually, I don't know if it can show on camera, it's kind of like a little mini roller. It worked really well at kind of getting in between here and squeezing through. So that did quicken things up. And like I say, I did use the brush too to kind of get into some crevices there. But for the most part, you just want to kind of get the whole front, everything that's visible covered. I mean, there's nothing you can do about the back. No one's going to see back there. So this right here is perfect. I do recommend priming if you got a lot of chip paint, just so it can kind of even things out a bit, so that when you put the paint on there, you know, it'll look a little more smoother. You won't see all that chip paint kind of soaking through, cutting through to the new layers. So again, it's going to look way better than it was. Sure, I can spend hundreds, close to thousands of dollars to have it taken out and professionally sandblasted, but homeowner, that budget can go to something else. So my fellow homeowners can kind of understand that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And when I come through, you'll be seeing the final product here. So here's this one here is coated in its primer. And I'm just going to give it 24 hours. I'm kind of tired. And I'll finish tomorrow. Okay, welcome back. Good morning. So this is day 2, and I kind of learned from my mistakes yesterday. So something that I discovered when I was, you know, randomly last night thinking, trash bags. Just using your plain old trash bags as a way to kind of protect the surface here. So, and what this did too is this now gives me a space where I can kind of put the paint down or the brushes and trade out as I'm working my way through all the sections here. So yeah, if you're doing that, trash bags, your good old trash bags. So I've done the same with this one here. So I also kind of did the back wall because one of the things about my house is, with the exception of that one over there, pretty much all my radiators are actually kind of spaced out from the wall pretty decently. So I do plan to use this longer brush here to kind of get behind and go all the way down and stuff like that. So protecting this with this other bag here keeps it from getting on the wall back there. So, and in the future too, when I just start painting rooms, it's kind of nice. Whoever built my house in 1909 thought of ahead to create space behind the radiators. So yeah, that I just kind of beefed things up a bit. So I kind of protected this back wall there a little bit better. And that right there is just paper towel. I just used a long sheet, folded it in half just to give it some additional padding, and just taped it in the back so that as I'm making my way through those sections, and I do plan to paint the piping there too, you know, I don't have to worry about that back wall there, which, I mean, it's not an area that people will just see, but I'm just a perfectionist, so I would know it's there. So yeah, so I haven't poured the paint yet or anything like that. Just wanted to show you guys quickly just a little improvement of prep work that I thought of. So, all right, stay tuned. So I am prepped here and set up. So I got my, this is a oil-based aluminum paint intended for metal installations, items that are heated too. On the front of it, there's actually a radiator on it, as well as like the metal that you see on like a farm, you know, silo. I have a variety of different brushes. I kind of like in the foam brushes. I think those work really well at really pushing in and getting in those crevices right there. So got my rollers there, and I picked up what's known as a radiator brush. It's actually sold as a radiator brush, which is supposed to make it easier to get down in here. So I'll see how this works, and kind of go from there. But yeah, let's get started. And honestly, I must say, even with just the primer on this, I kept looking at it all night because it looks, even in this state, if I wanted to stop, and if I was like, you know, the landlord special or something, in a good case, this is where it would stop and be done. But yeah, even with just the primer. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, here we go. So both radiators are now coated in the paint. This particular paint, it's called American Heartland. I got it from Menards. It goes on gray, and then as the paint starts to dry, it brightens up to this brilliant aluminum silver color, which looks fantastic. So right now it's still drying. Can says 4 to 6 hours, but I'm just gonna give it probably about 48 hours to just cure. So everything, it's looking really good, guys. This one looks beautiful. I mean, even just the couple hours it's been drying here, like that looks beautiful right there, that finish. And went ahead and just did the pipes too. As you see, I got a little splatter there. So again, I'll clean all this up, and you know, the video will pick back up where all the stuff will be cleaned out, everything will be looking all pretty and stuff like that. So overall, I am really happy I decided to do this. This was a great like DIY project. So yeah, guys, stay tuned, and like I say, you'll be at the conclusion of this video for painting radiators. And welcome back to the conclusion, everyone. I am so happy with how things turned out. It looks beautiful, way better than what it was previously. I've definitely noticed a few areas where I gotta touch up, but it came out great, guys. I do have the above head light on right now, but it really looks good. I gotta, as I said earlier, it's a radiator. You're not gonna get every little crevice, so the middle section down up in there, you still can kind of see the old color, but we're not gonna worry about that. We are just focused on a person walking in, walking past it, and seeing something that looks really nice. That's about it. Again, to get all of that area, you would need to disassemble it, take it outside, spray paint it, clean it off, sandblast, all that good stuff, which is, it can be expensive. So this was just a paint in place to give it a new look. And the other one over here turned out beautiful as well. I love it, love it, love it. Nice shiny aluminum color, like it just looks awesome, guys. And I went ahead and did the pipes right there too. I just, hey, YOLO. So had enough paint available, so I did that. I'm glad I waited 48 hours, like I said, because there was definitely a little odor that I could smell in the house, because I am doing this in the winter time. So these are actively getting used. So, but it wasn't some toxic odor. There are 2 windows there. I had those open. So, you know, there was ventilation. It wasn't nothing unsafe. Like most modern paints today are pretty safe, even if your venting conditions isn't as optimal as they should be. So it was totally fine. I love it. The product that I used to kind of clean up the drips was this Goof Off Pro Strength Remover. Worked great at cleaning up any little drops of paint that was on the floor, on the wood. I do want to warn you, if you use that on wood, it will take some of the finish off. So I don't know if this will show up, but you know, still got one right there. But yeah, it kind of removes some of the finish, but this wood paneling is getting painted over anyway, so I'm not really concerned about that. But just so you know, and because I had some extra left over, I went ahead and once again, a bit of a YOLO moment, went ahead and came in here and painted these shelves. So it gave them a nice new finish with that same paint. And again, watch the Radiator tour video. You'll see what they looked like before. Did this one, came out beautiful. It's just a very nice, smooth finish. So, and I will be painting these radiators as well, but again, that's gonna be for spring. You know, this was a little test. This is another one. This is just a little nice practice to kind of get my feet wet, learn, make some mistakes, learn some improvements, best practices as they call it. So it came out great, guys. Do not, if you live in a home that has radiators and they need a little refreshing to them, like I say, get some primer, prime them first, and then get a nice paint that can kind of withstand a little heat. Most paints can, so I wouldn't go all the way out and get the high heat stuff, which can be more expensive. But just make sure that it's low odor and stuff like that. And again, if you're doing this when you should, which is in the spring when they're not in use, then it really doesn't become a factor because it has months and months and months and months to cure before the heating season starts back. So other than that, I was very happy with the results. This is going to be a future project. This was helpful for, as you can see, holding stuff. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching my video on painting radiators. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, give me a subscribe, follow along with this journey of this home ownership of this over 100-year-old home. So yes, everyone, thank you, and please enjoy your day.